Well, yesterday I did a video on how to replace a freewheel. I'm going to go ahead and continue in that vein. This is my tri-racing bike. It's a Jamis Comet. Done 3 Ironmans on it. Anyway, weather's getting nice, so I'm going to get it ready to go off and do some rides. And I want to go ahead and replace the cassette on there. So I'm going to do a video on how to replace a cassette. That's a little bit different than a freewheel. So I'm going to go ahead, pull the wheel off of here. What I'm going to be doing is removing this cassette, which is geared a little higher, which is great for like flat terrain. And I have another cassette here, which has larger cogs on it and is better suited to hilly terrain where I live and train. So I want to start off by removing the skewer here. So just unscrew this here, take the spring off, don't lose the spring, pull the skewer out from the other side here, put it together so I don't lose it, and put this aside. Then you're going to need a cassette lock ring remover. This is from Pedros. You can get it from Park Tool. They make one as well. But what it's going to do is it's going to fit right into here, and there's these little splines here that are going to mesh up these little splines on this little lock ring here. So I'm going to fit that in there. And you're also going to need like a chain whip tool to hold the cassette in place. So I'm going to put that on there and hold that there. And then with just a common adjustable wrench, I'm going to put this onto here like this, and then turn this counterclockwise to loosen this little lock ring on the top here. And at that point I can go ahead and just remove this little lock ring. So there's just a little lock ring that like threads onto there. And then at this point I go ahead and pull this off. And then the rest of this cassette should just slide right off all as one unit. And you want to be careful, check to see if there's any like little spacers, and pull that out as well. So I got the spacer there. Now one of the things I like to do is I'll take a zip tie, I'll put it through the whole thing, including all the spacers and everything like that. Zip tie it together. That way it keeps all the parts together and also keeps them all in the proper order. Just makes it easier so you don't lose anything, and it makes it easier when you go to put it back on. The difference between a cassette and a freewheel is a freewheel actually has the bearings and the ratcheting system all built into the gearing system here. So it's all built into this unit here. A cassette is just gears that go on there. There's no bearings, there's no ratcheting system built into the cassette. That's all in this little part here called a free hub. So this free hub can easily, turn freely back that direction, but then it has little pawls in there which catch it so that it won't turn in this direction. It'll grab the wheel and turn the wheel. So this is called the free hub. So to install the cassette onto the free hub, get this part here, and I'm going to install it back all on the order that it came off. There's like a little spacer here, so I'm going to slide this little spacer on, and let me see, on the free hub there's little splines, and the splines have like mostly evenly spaced notches here. Put it right here. Except there's a wide notch here, and then one of the splines is narrower here. So what that does, it allows the cogs to only go on in one position, and so that allows the indexing to be all the shifting all to be nice and crisp because all the teeth all line up how they're supposed to. So what you want to do is locate the wide little tooth on there and match that up with the wide notch on there. It's going to go on there like this. Then go to the next one, find the wide. It will only go, they're generally designed so they're only going one way. So this will go on this way, but I flip it over and I've got that wide tooth lined up with the wide notch in there, and it won't go on. So it will only go on the one way. Now the spacers, there's spacers between a lot of these. They'll go on in any position, so you can turn them around. It doesn't matter what, how they go on. And so go on to the next cog, spacer, and find the wide tooth there, and like this. And each of the cogs gets progressively smaller. And then another spacer. There. And then these ones here actually have sort of a spacer built into them. And that goes on there. And then find wide notch on there. And that goes on like that. Then at this point, I can go ahead and take the little lock ring and screw that on. Take the tool and just kind of turn this on. And this doesn't need to be super tight on there. Just kind of turn it like that. It's got sort of a lock ring on there, so you kind of feel kind of a little vibrations, little bumps as you're turning that in there. So that little lock washer is going to hold that on there nice and tight. So then go ahead and remove the tool. Reinstall the skewer. The lever is going to go on the side opposite of the cassette, and you want to make sure that you have springs on both sides. So slide this up here like this. Then the spring goes on this side, and then you get this little nut on there. Now I want to reinstall the wheel. And on a tri-bike, on a road bike, they kind of install kind of sort of from the front. This one kind of installs toward the back. So I can pull this chain back here, get it onto the smallest cog, which is where it was before I pulled the wheel off. Get lined up in here. Get the axle into these nuts down here. Tighten this up. Clamp the wheel on. Okay, give it a quick test. Spin it around there. And it's working good. Anyway, that's how you install a cassette. So my bike's all ready to do some riding here when the weather warms up. Go training on some hills. It'll be a lot of fun. If you liked the video, you found it useful, interesting, please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. There's a link right down in here, a little box, yellow box, click on that. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and hope it's been helpful. And thanks for watching.